What is the most overrated food you're convinced people are just pretending to enjoy? I feel like the answer for a lot of people is grapefruit, but I fucking love grapefruit. I hate grapefruit. Not because of the flavor, but the first time I tried one, I stuck a spoon in it, and it squirted its citrusy juice right into my eye. I've never forgiven them. Congratulations, you are the first person I've ever seen hold a grudge against a fruit. Have you heard of Jesus? Oh damn, you're right. Fuck this fig tree in particular. Jesus. Okay, I'll probably get drawn into some kind of argument here, but I would say to try reading the Mark version of this story in the God's Word translation, my personal favorite amongst the popularly available stuff. The story here sounds more like this to me. Jesus looks for figs. No one expects figs because it's just out of season, but Jesus knows that there is a deeper unfaithfulness or unfruitfulness to the tree, for even he cannot get figs from it. So while the disciples only know that fig trees don't produce figs out of season, Jesus knows that the tree will never again produce figs because it is dying. Then, the next day, the tree, in fact, has dried and died. It is only not just this time that the tree appeared to be unfruitful, it was dead at the roots. If you connect this to what he was trying around the same time, to teach his disciples about the nature of Israel's contemporary spiritual barrenness, how those traditions were not yielding spiritual fruit any longer, this interpretation makes more sense. I'm just a dude who thinks Jesus is a brilliant but misunderstood teacher of non-dual consciousness, and I pay the penance and downvotes to defend him on Reddit. Peace. Foods with gold flakes. I lived in Japan in the boom years of the 1980s, which was an amazing time to be there. I spent New Year's, probably the biggest holiday of the year, at a friend's place. His dad pulled out a very nice bottle of sake with bits of gold leaf flakes in it and served some to me. I asked why they put gold leaf flakes in it, and he laughed and said, "So you can shit gold," which I guess really is the point. I'm convinced that the 4 billion or so people who love their food 10-star spicy hot are simply engaged in an elaborate conspiracy to troll me personally. I gave someone a spoon of Da Bomb hot sauce once. She did not react at all. That's when I realized there are different levels to people's spice tolerance. I like spicy, but I like it to taste good. Da Bomb does not taste good. 100%. Da Bomb was made spicy for the sake of being spicy. It has no other redeeming qualities with the exception of the novelty. I love spicy food, but I stay far away for that sauce. Freaking tastes like the worst cold medicine and then melts your face off. It's for trolling, which is why it works so well on the hot ones. Leaving tails on shrimp in a pasta dish. People who do this should be forced to eat an entire pasta dish with nothing but the tails. Twizzlers. Fruit-flavored window sealant. My mom loves them. She buys giant bags, containers of them when she can. I think she just likes the texture, especially when she is stressed out, like a dog with a rawhide. I too am obsessed with them, and it is 100% the texture. Dog with a rawhide is a freaking hilarious and spot on. Bacon strips smells like bacon, but I just can't get into it. Props to people who can, but not me. Way back in ancient online history, 2003, there was a guy named Steve. Steve had a blog called Steve Don't Eat It. Steve made a BLT with bacon strips, and the result was just awesome. Since this is an archive, I can only link the main page. The bacon strips BLT is third down the page, but by all means, write all of Steve's stuff. It's gold. Steve, don't eat it. Those giant milkshakes with absurd toppings like a slice of cake, jumbo swirly lollipop, and cotton candy fairy floss. I actually had one in at the legendary milkshake bar in Nashville. The milkshake was May, but the brownie on top? Absolutely the best brownie I've ever had. That's purely in the category of food you buy to put on social media. Everything in the comments doesn't surprise me, even if it's something I like. I am surprised how many people are saying truffle, though. I love that shit. The trick with truffle is that you need context to know if you are talking about chocolate or mushrooms. I am always wrong somehow. My favorite are those sweet, luscious truffles we have around Christmas time that the pigs sniffed out in the forest. All that insanely spicy stuff. I cannot understand why it's a bragging point with people. I like medium spicy stuff, but once it's actually painful and I taste the spice more than the main ingredients, it's not even enjoyable. I'm convinced people taste spicy differently. I absolutely love the flavor of super spicy food. Any of those American monstrosities where they pack a ton of chocolates and candies into one big cake or whatever it is. When you put all those amazing sweets into one glob, you don't really get to enjoy their good parts as much as this mesh of sugar with some hints of flavor. As an American, I can assure you that not a lot of people will actually eat that stuff. It's just to garner attention on short-span entertainment. Sea cucumber. The texture is gross, the aftertaste is gross, the appearance looks like hippo's slimy dung after consuming a field of algae. 1 pound is more expensive than a 5 Wagyu. Make it make sense. Sea cucumber might be the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. I was also under the impression it was more of a medicinal thing, which made sense to me, because there is a lot of shit in Eastern medicine that seems insane to eat, but if you think it gives you virility, it makes sense. Also, what's up with every endangered animal giving you virility? If it was something people had ready access to, it would become clear pretty quickly that the results were placebo or straight bunk. There's a reason no one claims that chicken or iceberg lettuce is an aphrodisiac. Kombucha. I've tried 10 or so different flavors of kombucha, and they've either tasted like a good complex fruit juice or like moldy socks, with no in-between. Peeps. My mom did not allow us to eat sweets or candy. I remember going over to my aunt's for Easter. Laying on the dining room table was a smorgasbord of all the candy in the world, but my little young eyes were fixated on the Peeps. Finally. I finally get to taste what my little mind just knew would be heaven, except it wasn't. Tastes like cardboard sprinkled with sugar. I'm still made about it 30 years later. True Peeps aficionados will tell you that Peeps are much better when they old. Old and stale, chewy. I buy my mom Peeps the day after a holiday, Easter, and save them for her until Christmas. Cauliflower pizza. A few people I know suggested I try it, and it was of the worst creations on planet Earth. Yet the grocery store always keeps it in stock. I guess when you love pizza but can't have gluten, it's good enough. Really depends on the crust. I've had some that were awful, but have also had some that were so similar to normal crust that I barely even noticed and could just enjoy the pizza. Crumble cookies. Nothing about those things is enjoyable on any physical level. They make you feel horrible. They have become the de rigueur thank you gift from our clients, and my office gets a delivery almost weekly. They get regifted or sent home with the cleaning staff because everyone is so fucking tired of them. Crumble was 100% made to be a trend. One of my good friends has a partner who worked there for a while, and according to her, not a single staff member at any of the chains she knew ate the cookies. They all hated them. Caviar. To be honest, it's unlikely that I will spend money on caviar anytime soon, because of how expensive it is. However, a friend of mine had some and made me try it. It has a much more complex taste than I expected, which I thought would be like lumpfish roe, i.e. fishy and salty. The taste was fatty, fishy, and salty, but in a subtle way. Sorry, it's hard to describe a taste as non-native speaker. These are some of the most overrated foods out there. Some people love them while others can't stand them. What do you think? Do you agree with our list, or is there something else you'd add? Share your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. See you next time.